Hey, welcome to my Talk to Tony. The first episode, September 1st, 2018. And you remember that Bridge to Grace band called that song called Everything? Michael Perry had asked me to cover that. And it's about, the song is about suicide. They sing about suicide, and what it does, it's a Christian band. It's a pretty good song. Well, that song in there that I did, because Michael asked me to cover it, I played it with feeling more than any other song I had ever covered. And out of that song came brilliant results of things that I never thought I could even do. When I listened to the drums in the song that I did, some parts were the same as the original drummer, and some parts were just totally new, improvised, and amazing parts. Michael got back to me and he said that I was a genius after he watched my video and listened to the audio track. And thank you, Michael, for that. Well, that's because when you play with feelings, and it's going to sound kind of odd for the people who have formal training, which I never had, and in no way am I saying that this is the right way to do it, and I'm not trying to teach you guys to do it this way. I'm just saying that it's me. Only way I can play. I can't, because I had no formal training, I never learned how to count, I never done none of that stuff, so I had to play everything with feeling. And by doing that, different things come out instead of the stuff that you hear with the bands drummer did. The stuff I'm doing is a little bit different because it's play with feelings. I'm not counting.
Hey Tony, Earl Bennett. Got a question for you today. Question is about your studio and your camera setup specifically. I want to know how you do your videos, how you use your green screen, what video editing software you use, and how many cameras you actually have in your studio. And what inspired you to start All Classic Drum Covers. So that's my question for you, and I hope it makes it to the show. Thanks, Tony. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Earl, I want to thank you so much for the question you had asked me. And the question answer is of what kind of studio I have. What am I running for my software as a DAW, and what am I running as integrated into my computer, and what do I have as software for editing my videos, and how many cameras I have, and how I do my green screen. Well, those are really good questions, Earl, because it took me a while to figure this stuff out. The biggest thing, I guess, is being able to do what I want with my software, not have limitations, so and not pay a high dollar for it. And so my secret to getting to this point of not paying very much is Adobe. The Adobe Premiere Elements I use for my video editing, which I have unlimited number of video and audio slots for editing my videos, and I can put so many different layers into my videos and add kinds of where you get into your green screen. So I'm trying to get my full room green screened. It's going to take a while because I'm trying to find green sheets to put up, and it's kind of hard to find that. I don't know why it is, because they're really not making them that much anymore in stores. You have to go really find it, maybe in used places and stuff like that. So I kind of put my room into a green screen Earl. I'm glad you asked me that. As for the audio recording, I do use Reaper. Reaper you do have to pay for if you have a success in recording industry, if you're a big person. A small people like us, we really don't have to pay for it. We have a nagging screen each time, but they urge us once we start making a lot of money to start paying for it. So, but you get a nagging screen at the beginning, you just close it out after a while and it's gone. You know, but then it happens every time you start up the Reaper software. But it'll never stop, and it's probably the best recording software that I have used out there, because I like the metronome that it comes with. You can put whatever number you want in there. There's no limitation on how low you can go or how high you can go for practice. With some other DAW software out there, I've seen limitations, like in Pro Tools and stuff like that. So I think that for a smaller guy, I think like us, I think that Reaper would be better suited for us, because it's easier to use and less complicated and more, it's more user friendly, I would say. For my camera setup, I'm using 3 cameras that are on my phones, and overhead, side camera, and maybe another side camera. And I like to have different views in my drum cover so that you can see like what angle, different angles. It's not just one shot like I used to do before, because I didn't have that many cameras available. I'm planning on getting some more available, so I can have different views. Try to get in some more special effects and try to act more crazy for you guys, because I really want to impress the audience as much as I can. And it doesn't matter that I have all these hate comments and dislikes. I mean, that's all part of YouTube, I guess, and it's the trolls out there that are jealous that you're doing something better than they are, probably. I'm not sure, but I guess everyone's getting them, and that happens, you know, whoop-de-doo. But I do want to create some really awesome, better effects into my videos, sort of like Uzibooboodoodoo does. Man, that guy can rock. This is a picture of Uzibooboodoodoo, by the way. You rock, Uzi. I love you, man. He puts out some of the best videos I have seen out there for drum covers. The guy is creative. He has a mind of his own, and a very, very creative mind. So if you ever get a chance, check out Uzibooboodoodoo, man. He rocks, man. He also belongs to the Drummer's Den. That's another good place to go. Michael Perry's. This is Michael Perry's picture. And then the Drummer's Den is another picture for the Drummer's Den. Go check them out. They're really cool. Well, I'm glad you came to the first show of Talk to Tony. And Earl, your questions were very important. I sure liked them. The thing about using a green screen behind my drums is because I have ability to put different things in there. Unfortunately, there's been some times that when I did record, my green screen didn't turn out because of the color of my green and the lighting. So I'm trying to work on that to make it better, and I did some videos outside because I every time I tried the green screen, it wasn't working. So I did get I did go to store, and I did set up a new green screen area where I can do my Talk to Tony now. So we will have the green screen effect for each video I do with that. Sometimes I'll go outside and I'll be talking outside, but I'll put it up on the green screen. I'll introduce it and all that stuff. But that's all part of the green screen stuff, Earl, is that I can actually interact with you guys, interact with the drumming, do all that kind of stuff. And I want to bring all classic drum covers up to a higher level of more professionalism so that more people will get involved. And that's why I wanted people to start sending in their questions through video logs, so that I can put them into my videos and people could see who they are. And it's kind of cool, you know, because you're interacting with us. So that's all part of the green screen. All the rest I explained. I think that, sorry about that. I think that yeah, you probably have a better understanding where I'm going with all the stuff that I'm doing with the 3 cameras I got going on through my phones. I do have a new arm that I'm using now. It's a Bluetooth arm that actually keeps the level and keeps it exactly where you're at. It's kind of expensive, but I bought it solely for all classic drum covers, so I could do these presentations and shows for you that it would be more enjoyable. Earl, thank you for the all the questions. You did have one more question, what inspired me to start out classic drum covers. I'm not going to answer that right now because I'm going to get down to Gigi later on, because GigiTB Drummer, she had asked me the same question, so I'm not going to take the question away from her. I will answer her question and your question at the same time with her. Okay, buddy? Okay, another question is Sherry Jamerick. Thank you. I hope I said your name right. She wants to know when I started drumming and why did I take drumming up? And that's a good question. I started drumming, well, I have to say that I started drumming in my mom's womb back in 1959 for 9 months, because she was a famous drummer, carrying me on stage, bouncing and playing their drums. So I was taking drums up as the metronome timing of that. And that took place for 9 months in my mom's stomach, and womb. Sorry about that. And her water broke on stage playing the drums. There was 2 doctors out in the audience, and I was almost born on stage. They rushed my mom to the hospital. I was born that night, 1959, September 17th, which is another 16 days from today's date, which is September 1st. 2018, and I will elaborate to another question on this date about why, another question about all classic drum covers. So sorry about the confusion, but anyway. And why did I take up drums? Well, that goes back to your first question of when I started playing. I took up drums because I love the sound of them. I guess because I was in my mom's womb for 9 months, listening to the drums play. I think that's what got me interested in the drums so much, because of the beat and the way they sounded. And every time I heard a band play or anything like that, the drums would come out. That's all I wanted to listen to, was the drums. So that's why I took up drumming. Thank you, Sherry, for those 2 awesome questions. Okay, Mark Richard, I knew you'd be asking some kind of question like this. If money was no object, what kind of simple setup would I use? Well, heck, I'd be going with Sabian and Zildjian, man. I'd have crashes, I'd have rides. I have 2 rides, I have 2 hi-hats setups. I don't know, probably about 8 crashes, different sizes, all the way from 8-inch all the way to, maybe all the way from 4-inch all the way up to 24-inch, who knows. I'd have a gong set up behind me, chimes. I mean, you name it, man. I have all kinds of cymbals in my setup. I probably spend about 10 grand just at first in a cymbal setup, and then plus my stands. So it would be quite the cymbal setup. Thank you for the awesome question, Mark Rickard. Okay, Silgon Drummer has a question for me, and he's going to put me on a spot. I knew this was going to happen. So he wants to know if I had to open up for a concert and I had to play a song that I hated, but I had to, what song would that be? Oh my God, there's one song that really just really, I mean, for so many years it's been overplayed and been in so many shows and everything else. I think it just drives me nuts, and it's called I Got No Satisfaction. You know who it's by. I can't remember the band's name, but they're very famous. But that's the song that I think would be the one that I would not want to play. Thank you for that question. Hey, Michael Perry. Great guy, man. I love Michael Perry. Okay, you asked me, who's the girl at the end of the show, and do I still talk to her?
I love all classic drum covers. Hey, Michael Perry. I'm Tony's niece, Elizabeth Schofield.
That girl is my niece. She lives 2 houses down from me, and yes, we still talk to each other. She's a really nice lady. I'm trying to get her to do another ending for all classic drum covers. So she's, give her a lot of likes. Tell her I said hi. If you ever if you see her at the end of our videos, just say hi. Her name is Elizabeth Schofield. So very sweet girl. Okay, love you, Elizabeth, and thank you, Michael Perry, for them questions. GigiTB Drummer. Wow, one of my favorite drummers out there. Love you, girl. Love you, sister. I mean, you really rock. Your drumming is amazing. And you had a question: is how did I come up with this great idea of all classic drum covers? And this is the same question that Earl had, but in a different format. Is why did I create all classic drum covers? Well, I want to elaborate on both here. Okay, how did I come up with this great idea? Well, guess what? Back on September 1st, 2015, I started all classic drum covers. And I wanted to start it because there was a gentleman by the name of Juan Zurdo. This is his YouTube channel right here. His name is Juan Zurdo. Check him out. He was doing drum covers, and I was checking out drum covers online, and I was thinking, wow, that's a cool idea. This guy's doing drum covers. So I wanted to throw some classic rock drum covers out too, but I did have a channel before all classic drum covers. I was throwing some Christian drum covers on there, nothing spectacular. They were kind of like sloppy because I was very, very ill for many years. For 10 years. I was on my deathbed a year before I started all classic drum covers. I was on my deathbed, and they had me in high doses of morphine. I was taking every day. My insides were given out, and I didn't think I was going to make it. And you know what? I kept on wishing I was dead. I kept on, everything was horrible. But I started listening to drum covers on YouTube, and it gave me and it helped me to realize that maybe I could do something like this, because I had a drum set. And so I threw a drum set up and I started playing some, a couple Christian drum covers, and I was commenting on Juan Zurdo's, and he was commenting back, and he was like, hey, you're pretty good. You should try some all classic, some classic stuff. And so I did. And I started it. And then for about a year, I was throwing drum covers in, and I thought, hey, you know what? This is a cool, why not start a community where I can have other drummers that I can enjoy watching them and pick a few out that I like and show the world them. So I opened the doors, and I put in there that I would start making videos that I would put in and they were top 10 back then, because I was getting like flooded with these posts. People wanted to be in my top 10, and my top 10 was picking from anywhere. I didn't even have it, Tony's top 5 page, and there was just, you just post anywhere, and I picked from anywhere. But then it got so big and so complicated to choose from everywhere, because I was getting massive amounts of post into my community, and it was growing like wildflowers. I made a page called Tony's Top 5, and I reduced it from 10 videos that I would do down to 5. And basically that's why I came up with this idea. But you know what? I also wanted to showcase your guys' drum covers out there, because there is no platform for you guys to showcase. There is nothing out there for people to say, wow, man, this guy's really good, and go subscribe to you. So I created the All Classic Drum Covers Google community to do just that. And so I started promoting everyone that was posting in there, everybody. And so it got so busy that I had to stay with the Tony's Top 5. Once in a while, I'm going to throw a shout out here and there. But because you're not posting the Tony's Top 5, I can't throw a video in there. But it's a shout out of a screenshot up here of your channel, and that's as far as I can go with it, because we didn't. Nobody okayed me to take your videos from anywhere in the Google community, only from the Tony's Top 5. But you do have to vote. You got to vote if you want it all over, if you want me to pick from everywhere in there, or just from the Tony's Top 5. But that's why I created the All Classic Drum Covers Google community. GG is because, and Earl is just for that fact that I needed to have a platform for you guys, and it made me feel good that I could watch all you guys out there with your drumming. So make sure you post into Tony's Top 5 so I can see your drum covers, because that's what I'm mostly looking at. I thank you all for watching my show today. I will be elaborating more on the calibrating your internal timing on my next episode. And you can ask more questions down below, or send them down to me at that email address I have right here. I have a link to my Google community right here. I have a link to the Drummer's Den right here, and I'll have a link to all the down below to all the people that I did a shout out in to their YouTube channels. Thank you much for the first show. I hope you enjoyed it, and like I said, the next show is going to be a little bit longer. I'll be elaborating on the internal timing and how to calibrate that to get a more of an absolute timing in your drum covers. Thank you much. And then if there's anything else that you want to know more about me, plus, oh, by the way, I will be elaborating more on from my birth all the way to now into these Talk to Tony. So don't worry about that. There's going to be a lot more stuff coming out, but we don't want to overload you with all this information at first. Okay? Thank you much, ciao, and see you later, man.
I love all classic drum covers.